It was the first new car I had ever bought, sporty and loaded with toys. Little did I know the real ride I was in for. I've had this car for 7.5 years, and the past 7 years have been not very good. It was within the first 6 months that the transmission problem that has plagued this model of Ford Focus has kicked in, and I have never been able to shake that problem. 7 years is a long time to put up with hassles. When I bought this car, it was love at first sight. I saw it in the showroom. I saw it with the two-tone leather seats, black and white. It was all nice and shiny on the outside. It was a beautiful car. The wheels on it. Once I fell in love with it, that was it. I wanted this car. And for the first 6 months, driving it was a dream. The pickup, the suspension, the cornering, the braking, it was all nice. And I'm not hard on cars. So, but when I want to have fun, I want to have fun. I used to call this the Funmobile. I haven't called it that in quite a while. 6 times in the shop for the same issue. Why didn't they just give me a new transmission? The transmission was the biggest issue I had with my Focus, but it wasn't the only problem. I just pressed the start button. Ford key, no key detected. It's in my pocket. So what I'm gonna have to do is take it out of my pocket right here and hold it by the button. When I start the car, the mini computer gives me the information. Oh, it's telling me low tire pressure, but there isn't any low tire pressure. It's fine. And it's telling me the battery is low in my key to replace it soon. That's been going off every day for years, even though I've replaced the battery several times. The very next day, it'll say, key battery low. I ignore it. It's a long line of cars in front of me. I don't know if there's an accident up ahead or what. I wish I had my radio. Doug Hempstead would tell me where the roads are bad. Could have avoided this. No all in a day, no auto morning. My commute is shot. There's a 170 horsepower engine in this little car, so pickup's pretty good. Not that I put my foot to the floor. Highway driving has always been comfortable. I can sit in this seat. The seat is very comfortable, fits my body very nicely. I can't say the same for my Honda CR-V. I mean, it has a comfortable seat, but after about 4 hours of sitting in my SUV, I get really tired and sore. And the bucket seat in this Focus, I've driven to New York City, so 8 hours sitting in this seat, and I was fine. I could have sat in it all day. Get this baby on the highway, lock it in cruise control, and it just is a nice smooth drive. So, my wife and I primarily bought this as a commuter car to get me safely to and from work, something that was very fuel efficient, and it's done that. But in the 8 years that I've had this car, I've had it more times in a shop getting repaired for the same things than I've ever had any of my other cars in a shop combined. This car has been in the shop a lot. So the fun factor of the drive when it's operating smoothly, the fuel economy, the little gadgets, they're great, but overall, they're not enough to make up for all the hassles of things not working as expected, or having it in the shop and having to find an alternate way to get to work. liked how there are so many sensors on this car and automatic features that you don't have to really touch anything. I don't need to pull out a key to open the car or start it. The headlights come on and off automatically. The wipers will come on automatically when they sense moisture on the windshield. Let's crank on some tunes. Gotta make up my own music. I sometimes liken this to being in a romantic relationship. There's the initial attraction, and then the first 6 months are bliss. You have a lot of fun together. But then you get settled and you start to see things that wear. But there's a problem with one of you, the transmission. So you want it to work, so you get yourself, to counseling, the mechanic. And they say, well, let's try this and maybe it'll fix it. And it does seem to at first. And you think, we're back in love again and everything's great. And then a little while later, the same problem starts to creep through. And you think, well, I'm not ready to give up on you, so let's go back and see if we can get this fixed. Let's go back to the counseling mechanic. And the mechanic thinks, okay, now I've identified this problem. Let's try this. Things are good. And then you get into the cycle where it's like, it gets broken again, and then you try to fix it, and then it gets broken again. I've had this part with my transmission fixed 6 times. But then other things come through. You start looking at things and you see, oh, but this is wrong too. And now this has failed, and this has failed. And you think, how much abuse am I willing to take? When do I call it quits? It's now time to call it quits. And so now, there only seems to be one thing left to do. We're at the end of the road. It's time to put this thing out to pasture. For the Brown Noser, I'm Ross Brown. On my last full day of driving this car, I filled up the tank and reset the fuel economy, driving to and from work. That's what I get, 6.4 liters per 100 kilometers. The wind sways the trees, and the raindrops on the leaves tumble down my neck.